Hello, everyone. This is Al Fadi, and welcome back to this new series that we are taking a deep dive through in order for us to unpack the many problems with the different canons of the Quran, but more so to talk also about Muhammad, the real Muhammad. Did he exist, and where did he come from? But in order to do that, of course, we want to lay out a lot of basically foundations for that particular topic. So that's why we've been going through the history of the Quran. We're talking about the different canons of the Quran. And we pointed last time some of the problems with the different canons. We called them the five canons and the problems with the five canons. Today, believe it or not, if you thought there is the wrong man and the wrong book, today we're going to talk about the wrong Arabic language as well, the Arabic language of the Quran, that is. Dr. J, what is it that you want to share with us concerning the language of the Quran this time?
Well, we've been looking at the Quran and we've been looking at the traditions before that. Now we're going to actually delve into one of the real problems concerning the 7th century Arabic. This is something that's only been coming out since then, about 2018, where Al-Jalad wrote his book on this, and then Mark Dury, Dr. Mark Dury, who you know very well, has moved on from there. Dr. Mark Dury got his doctorate in linguistics, so he understands this perfectly. And he's saying, isn't it fascinating? Let's look at the slide and you'll see why. Let's go up and take a look at there you're looking at Arabia there on the map. Fascinating when you look and you see what the traditions are saying. They all say that everything happened right here where the green rectangle is. That's the Hijaz.
Hijazi language, Quraishi, let's call it maybe.
And that would be the area of Mecca and Medina. And that's where Muhammad lived, supposedly. That's where he grew up. That's where he learned his language. That's where the Quran was revealed. And we've said this over and over again. The Quraishi dialect would come from that green rectangle there.
Right.
That's fine until you open the Quran itself. When you open up the Quran and you've read the Quran in Arabic, there it is in Arabic. And if you take a look at all of these qira'ats, they are all in Arabic.
That's right.
But there are some problems because the Arabic in these Qurans and here do not come from that area that's on the map there.
How so?
Well, what they have found out is these Qurans, and there are four major reasons, and I'm going to let you unpack each one of them one after another because you're the Arabist, you're the Arab speaker, you're doing your doctorate in this area, you're a native speaker. If I start saying this, I'll look foolish. So let's look at the first one, and that is what we know as the i'rab. The i'rab are unstressed inflectional short vowels marked with diacritics known as the i'rab because they were characterized of the Bedouin dialects. But what Bedouin dialects? Look at that red rectangle. That's where these Bedouin dialects come from. When we're going to talk about the inscriptions, all these rock inscriptions, and when we look at these rock inscriptions, they all come from that part of the world where the red rectangle is in the 7th century.
And you have people like Ahmed al-Jallad actually are doing a lot of work on this in this field.
And that's right. And he's noticing that they have the tar marbuta. What is the tar marbuta? Explain that to people.
Well, basically, as you can see, it looks like, a round shape with two dots on top of it. And it's kind of like an ending of a word.
These are all
speaking.
endings.
Exactly.
And so it's the at sound that comes at the end of the word.
That's right.
And that is
like Jannah, the word Jannah. It ends with a ta marbuta.
Ta marbuta, and you can see,
Hikmah, things like that.
And you see them all through the Quran that we have in our hand today.
Yeah.
This is not found in any of the Arabic that would have been in the Hijaz or any of the Arabic that would have been south. We're going to get to that, what Arabic was there at this time. Hold on to that. Let me show you another example that you find all through your Quran, and that's the Alif Maksura. What's the Alif Maksura all about?
Alif Maksura, basically, it sounds like Alif, which is kind of like when you say Ala, right? It sounds like you're putting the letter A, or maybe you're extending, right? And you're extending your voice, Ala. But you don't write it with an Alif like the traditional Alif, which is like a vertical line. You write the vertical line as weakly a little bit. That's why we call
like
it
an
Maksura, meaning like it was bent. Like a
backwards
bent
S, so
exactly.
it'd be like a two symbol.
Right.
And this, well, actually, no, it's S-shaped. It is S-shaped, and it's always at the end of the word again. So this is another one of these unstressed final vowels. And then we have a fourth one that Jalad brings up, and that is the definite article. What's the definite article?
That's a prefix, basically, at the beginning. This is like the letter, the definite article, the, or in the Hebrew, ha, H-A, we write in English. Here, when you add al to something, it becomes defined like al-Jannah, the, basically, heaven. So now you're defining it that way.
In the Hebrew, ha.
Right.
Like ha, theos is the famous one in
Exactly.
John 1:1.
Exactly.
Now, if this is the case, these are found, and you have seen these over and over again, these are found in the Quran, these are found in the Arabic that you use, these are found in the Arabic that is well used all through the Quran, right?
Yeah.
So far, so good. Until you go back and see what was existing in the 7th century at that time. Because according to everything we have seen, and this Jalad is bringing this up, the Arabic that existed in the 7th century is not that Arabic. The Arabic that exists in the 7th century is Sabaic Arabic.
Which is Saba'ian, from the kingdom of Saba down south, which is modern-day Yemen.
Yemen and Oman, that area,
Yeah.
and what known as the Hadramat area in the southern part of the peninsula. Basically where you see that big red square is there on the map. That's the Sabaic Arabic. If the Quran had been written in that Arabic, it would not have had the Tar Marbuta or the Alif Maksura or the definite article, because those don't exist in the Sabaic Arabic.
Okay, so let's unpack it for people. Linguistically speaking, the presence of these features, linguistic features, indicate yet again a northern origin, not a southern or
Exactly.
at least Hijazi origin.
And that's why the conclusion is the Quranic Arabic, the Nabatean Aramaic, existed 600 miles further north, while the 7th century Arabic of the Hijaz, Sabaic, from the Sabaeans, coming from the Yemen area, would have accommodated the text of the Quran had it been used, eradicating the Qira'at problems later on. What are we talking about there? We mentioned this in the last episode. The Sabaic Arabic actually does accommodate, has always accommodated the 5 dots and the 3 vowels. They already accommodated the diacritical marks. They already had the vowelization written in them. But when this book was written, we do know the earliest manuscripts, we have them, they're on file. You can go to the Topkapi Museum and see the Topkapi. You can go to to Paris and see the Petropolitanus. You can come to London and see the Ma'il. You can go down to Cairo and see the Husseini. You can get out to Sana'a and see the Sana'a. You can go to Uzbekistan and see the Tashkent, the Samarkand. These are the 6 major manuscripts. They do not have dots. They do not have vowels. The earliest 7th century Nabatean Aramaic did not have dots and vowels. They just had 16 consonants, proving that this Quran could not have been written in Sabaic Arabic. Otherwise, they would have all the dots and vowels written in them. This Quran, with the Tar Marbuta, Alif Maksura, the definite article, the al, all of them that are included in it would have been written up in the north, about 600 miles further north.
Right.
And that's why we need to be careful. This is something that Muslims are not aware of. This is something we know that is new. It's research. It's just been out in the last 2 years. This is brand new. And that's why it's, again, placing the Quran too north and too far distant. Not only too far distance in distance as far as miles, it's also too far distance in time.
So Jay, I mean, you've been doing this conundrum series. If you can give people just a quick overview of what you've been doing. You have the conundrum concerning the Qibla, right?
I have five Qs.
Right, and you have the one related to Qira'at.
There's the other Q.
You have one related to the coins, which is...
There's the other Q.
We forgive you.
I know, I don't know how to spell.
But then what are the other 2?
And then the Quran itself, the Quran manuscripts.
Right.
And then the quest. And the quest is what we have been going, and this whole series is that last one. This whole series is the quest for Muhammad. We're trying to find him.
And
You have that character, what is his name? Where is Wali? You've seen those things? You're trying to find Wali?
Right.
Well, we're saying, where's Muhammad? We're trying to find him, and we cannot find him anywhere. When you look at all the coins, you can't find him. When you look at the manuscripts, you can't find him. When you look at all the inscriptions, you can't find him. And now when you look at the Arabic, you can't even find him.
So when you deal with the Quranic manuscript, do you address these grammatical issues and linguistic issues as well?
No, I let you do that because that's your area of expertise. You're the expert. I'm just sitting there and quoting what you guys tell me.
Yeah, because that could be another conundrum in and of itself. I mean,
That's a whole nother one that we're going to be coming up with because we haven't really got into the manuscript area yet. Dr. Dan Brubaker is the expert on that. He's the one that spent the last 10 years. He has looked at 10,000 folios. Let me repeat that again because I know Yasser Qadi misquoted him on that. Yeah. Not 10,000 manuscripts. He's looking at folios. That means pages.
Right.
So he's probably far no one else has done what he has done in that area.
And I want to point out to people about what we just mentioned concerning the grammatical issues. The reason why scholars like Al-Jalad, for instance, whom I have a lot of respect for his research, can tell you things like that this is Sabaic or Nabatean, because they look at rock inscriptions, actually, that date to those days. This is how it's not like just a manuscript, not rock inscriptions that are either south in Yemen area or surrounding area, or Hadramaut, for instance, or in the Nabatean area. So this is how they know the difference, linguistically speaking.
And those are evidence on the ground from the century that we're talking about, not from the 8th or 9th or 10th century. These are 7th century pieces of evidence.
That's right. What should we expect next time?
Well, what we want to do for the next time is we want to go into and look at now Muhammad himself. We want to go and ask these questions. Where does he come from? What are we finding out about him? And what I really want to look at are the coins. This is the third Q, or in this case C. I want to look at the coins because by far this is the most devastating. We're going to get into that. It's exciting. I know this will be new for you. It'll probably be new for all those who are watching. Watch and see what we can show you now with the coins.
All right. He said, you heard the man. He said, watch and see. I'll tell you, come and see, because when you do, you will be able to enjoy the rest of this series. Until we meet again next time, have a blessed day. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. We can't make these quality videos without the help of partners like you. So please consider becoming a Patreon supporter today at patreon.com/Sira International. I want to make sure you always get notified when we release a new video, so please click the bell to be notified, and of course, make sure to subscribe to this channel. If this video was helpful to you, please click the thumbs up. Thank you.